You?
Yeah, but we need to.
So it's live, so if you turn the camera.
Okay, I gotta just turn it.
You can't see the screen. Not yet. We're down the
Okay, right here. Okay, wait.
Yep. That means YouTube vlog and one of the things that not on before we.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks on our way.
Who is?
Joey.
All right.
Yeah.
So now we just want to expand the video. Okay, let's see. That's good, right?
Yeah, that looks great.
There we go.
They sure got diet because that way he honestly got there after mine. By the way, oh, I got it for a ride home. The mom said to me as I was walking back over and said, "Yeah, I can't see it. I'm still on it." She's like, "Ma, stand by, you know." I'm sorry, Jack. No, I mean my buddies from school aren't here yet. Chrissy's here. He's not here yet. Jolene, Paul's girlfriend's not here yet, and two others are gonna be on their way. So, all right, let's do some dry runs. No diet soda for once? Wow, that's a first. I'm gonna take a cup in a minute or two.
I know. Hold on, I have to get one.
The Baltic cruise. Yeah, that's where you guys are going next year, right?
Yeah.
My mom wants to go. She's like, but we flying back in from Aruba the night before that. Oh my god, that's too many, you know.
Right.
She goes to Scotland in August with Kelly and Jay, and that's the first.
Wait, this August?
Yeah, August 1st till
This year?
Yeah. Just before August 1st till the 14th. His birthday's the 18th. He'll turn 15 already. Remember he was born during my second year, just before.
Yeah. So that. Yeah, I do remember that actually.
I was so excited to remember. Brendan was excited too.
Because you were an uncle. I'm an uncle.
Well, I'm gonna be an uncle because of Sojourn, and then it was like a month later. Hey, he's already born at that point. We started, right after Labor Day or whatever. So he's already 2 weeks old at this point, you know. He was a big kid though, like 9 pounds.
9 pounds. He was big.
Oh yeah, and he's tall too. So.
God bless your sister.
What's that?
God bless your sister.
Oh yeah. Nobody in my family's really that tall except my mom's uncle, so she's tiny as you know. My dad was only 6 feet. I say only, but then her uncles, my mom.
He's pretty tall.
Yeah, I say only because you know,
I'm
God,
5'2".
my mom's strength, she was 5'2", now she's 4'11". I'm only 5'7".
My mom's shrinking too. My mom used to be 5'5", and now I'm taller than she is. And it's really funny because she doesn't believe it.
I'm 5'7" officially, but I round up to 5'8" on my license or on my doctor report, or I say 5'8". Yeah, just give me a nice range. Will they split hairs over? Probably not. Will the DMV even care, like, or the government in my passport or whatever? But I don't think about your passport.
Oh my god, this dude is 5'8". This guy's only 5'7".
That's 7. He couldn't possibly have done it.
It's not Tim Balzer. It's
Not him.
his alter ego, Mitt Balzer, the evil twin.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-oh.
I'd like to see that someday.
No, there's no evil twin. There's only one of me in the world, thankfully. What's funny is, though, on the people we may know list on Facebook, there's this Lauren Balzer, and it's like, that's not the Lauren I was married one day, and it's not anything related to me in general, so. And said, you know, and I think she sent me a friend request, too. It's kind of awkward. I declined it just because in case, you know, kind of thing, you know, I didn't want to be a fake or anything, or hacker, or you know, anything that would be, you know, I'm pretty precocious. Not pretentious, I'm not going to think that.
You'll
nowadays.
find out it's some long-lost sister. Not sister, cousin.
Well, then again, they wouldn't be balls. They'd be like, oh, there's Christy. Hey, Christy. And there's the pupper. She got a new puppy recently, my friend Christy in Cheshire.
So cute.
Yeti. He's a little lab. Oh, hey, buddy. He's a good dog, guys. Don't worry. He doesn't mean any harm. He's in puppy training mode. You know how it is with animals.
Alright, make sure that you're seeing on there what you want to say.
Oh, all right. So just put my head in there.
Poke your head
So
in
that's
there.
pretty good. There's the
We are
mic.
live, or is it just a
Yeah,
text?
go over by the microphone.
All right.
Yeah, it says live, but
Yeah, it's live.
But end live video when we're done. So dry runs.
I think it's live.
yeah, that's good because you're right in the middle and I'm not blocking you at all. So.
No, I think
we're doing
the angle we are.
Yeah, okay. Perfect.
All right. Don't live. Yeah, we're not gonna. If you just have us eating, remember, I can pick up the content and all that.
It's live. I don't know how else to do it.
We plan to go out and do something. The other day, we drive an hour and a half. His neighbor's still big. We're big enough to do something. And he ditches us. Yeah, he just takes us. He's like, I actually want to spend time with my family. And we end up somehow getting shoehorned to take his brother with us. And the whole time he's trying to convince us to buy his life. Like, yeah, so like, his brother's very special.
Did Russ know Christy? She was our year. He was in his year.
I don't know. Maybe.
It was like a really awkward and bad time.
Hey, Chris.
Like a little bit of schism. Like, we're friends. Like, you're just went out of our way for this. And glad to make it enough.
No, he
He's
works
running a lot.
late every Wednesday.
I'm sorry I get to go out.
He has
Apparently,
another
you're with him went out with the rest of the cats the next day. But because I don't get a ride to a month later. We ended up here. And we have an apartment up here that makes sense.
They work an extra day after, or like I know technically the last day the teachers work an additional day.
No, the last day was the last time.
Oh, okay.
So it's like,
Episcopal church is in New Haven, so I thought it was 4 blocks away.
How many stories in
Like 15 minutes away. Yeah, well, I guess I did. I was thinking other days. I just moved in yesterday.
Oh, you're new to the neighborhood, it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You just had on festival, it was a month ago, it was the arts and ideas.
Hello.
Yeah, they finally had to get after it.
No, so many things are now trying to figure
Yeah,
out
yeah.
over.
You guys?
There's something to sign in?
Oh no, that's not it.
No, I'm just saying hello.
How's your birthday yesterday, man?
Pretty good.
It's good.
So we were at the front door.
Oh.
Oh no.
Come in, and the doors weren't moving. I was like,
Oh, should I go put a sign up there?
Not in the actual church. There's a sign right there. It says streaming in progress. Please be quiet once we shut the door.
No, I mean up at the front. So
No, we didn't think of that. We said it in the room off the multi-purpose room off the main church. So.
but yeah, I think you did say that, and I just.
Oh, he just had a brain fart. That's okay. Well, Luke and John were at Gateway with me and Laura for a long time, and they're quite letting themselves down. So, Kevin's birthday was yesterday. So I'm at work on Monday. He works it right across from Gateway, and we were unsure if it was coming tonight, but he's here.
but it's here.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, I was hoping other people would be able to come.
Yeah. Does Big send her good regards? I'm sure she did, you know.
She does.
Oh, I know she wanted to come initially, and then
I know.
we had vegetable platters planned, you know, and for her, you know, and even the Oreos are vegan technically, so she was okay.
They
with
are. She would have eaten one.
it. Keelan O'Reilly actually is coming from Cheshire as well. She's a vegetarian, but she still eats, you know, dairy, and I think she eats fish. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, we got no wait, we got sushi. She doesn't have the vegetable rolls, but she does eat. I know that for sure. Dairy. We went to English when we had the.
Are you nervous?
No, why? Do I sound it?
No, I was just trying to figure it out.
No, not at all. That's where my mom doesn't know how to get on. No, I've done this many times
But did
before.
you get her on already?
What?
You gotta get her on.
I'm trying to. I said stand by. I said, you know. Let me see if I send her the link. I said it's live. I said to her, so. But the going button, so she saw it, so that's good.
Oh, that's good.
My mom's
Okay.
still learning the ins and outs. Basic. few of my friends were saying to three of, you know, me, family, Lauren before she passed, and there was old account before, or new account before she passed as well, and that was like, you know, after my old account got hacked, and then a couple other people, so.
I just gotta call my mom, it'll be easier.
Oh, what does she want now? Mom.
She's worried because I called her
Oh.
when I was leaving, and I said, well, don't, when she was at the dentist, I said, don't call me back, I'm going to a memorial. So she would understand what it is.
Oh. Of course.
I'm gonna guess the cereal you had. You had Cocoa Puffs. I knew it. You had Cocoa Puffs. Oh, my real
She's supposed to name with the E Carol.
Yeah, she does.
It's not a memorial at all.
I know.
You're gonna make it simple for her.
Yeah, let's see.
You're gonna make your mom less worried now, hopefully. Just say it's an honoring concert. Say something positive about it. You know, we already did all that stuff. She's in the damn room.
I know.
No disrespect to Laura, she'd probably kill me for saying that, but. Where should I start speaking?
I'd say really soon.
Yeah.
And part of the class, or the purpose of the class was to teach the kid up something. So I gave up sugar, and it sucked. Yeah, the whole point is like they go through withdrawal, they go through like be able to have that sugar. Yeah, I was like suffering. I ate so many apples, and I ate so many apples.
Alright. Do you want some just play some like, gathering music, something, something,
On a daily basis. I guess occasionally he gets those, what's the candy bar? The famous one on tour. Yeah, they're like with the bars and with that
Ask her now.
Alright guys, well welcome to the honoring concert for Lauren MacDonald, my significant other and love of my life, my lost 2 years ago this month. Yes, we got a live reception from our dog Yeti over here. Don't worry, he means no harm. So 2 years ago she passed away in July of 2021. And at the time, she passed, of course a lot of us that knew her, especially myself, her parents, brother, mother, my family, and friends of ours, mutual, and that she had met yet through me, or that I knew her, were devastated. But, this felt like the time was right. 2 years later, it'll be 2 years in July, like I said, and what happened was, I thought initially, right after it happened, okay, I want to do something to honor her. We had her funeral, we had her service, we had all the stuff that, you think of when it's sad, downcast, stuff like that. However, I felt that wasn't going to be, what I wanted to do for something like this. And right after she passed, of course, COVID was still very much a thing, and masks were required, and we all know how that went out. Went through. So flash forward a year after, so last year, 2022, with the help of my lovely teacher, residential dean turned director of endowment, development, alumni coordination, whatever she is now, Kinsley Rauch to my left, and Amy Webb to my right here on the blue and the pew, who was a church mother to me. She goes to a different church now, but she was part of my church in Cheshire. and her son Steve went to school with me at CHS, Church High. We planned this for the good part of a year now. We had a few dates that didn't work out. COVID went up again at one point or another. Didn't have enough musician time to practice. I got a nudge from my friend Justin Ivy, who couldn't be here tonight, and my friend Paul to my left here on piano, to kind of really work me through this. Because, Lauren and I love music, it's mutual interests as a couple, and we love, a lot of performing in front of the stage. We both like to say that we like the spotlight on us versus avoid it and run away from the spotlight. So I think this would be the perfect thing to do. We did a lot of presentation work as well before the pandemic on living with autism firsthand and mental health firsthand. We enjoyed the spotlight. We enjoyed the crowds. Now, we have a lot more people watching in person tonight or after the fact on YouTube or on my Facebook account. First being the audience tonight, and I had to learn the hard way. I felt bummed last week that, a lot of people couldn't come in person or didn't RSVP in a properly fashion. But one of the biggest takeaways from Lauren and I's relationship, and I'll never forget it, is you can't always predict what you want. You can't have it your way. We're not a Burger King, after all. If I wanted a Whopper, I could have gotten a Big Mac. Oh wait, she was a Mac, McDonald's. So, I hope you enjoy a great night together, guys. This is something we did a lot together, being in front of the crowds. Did open mic work together, we hosted that, we sang in front of those audiences as well. We did a lot of theater work, we produced a show on Theater of the Oppressed, which, you'll hear about the stories about her between each songs. So for now, it's about 6 o'clock, we're going to eat for a little bit, about 15-20 minutes of eating, maybe 25, because some people are coming a little later because they got work and other things to arise before they got here tonight. So we'll wait for them to show up, get some food, make it a little bit longer, and we'll start music with Lucas Gabriel. Not yet. I said after we eat. And people are expecting they're running late, and that's really fine. So Lucas, just hang tight, bud, and we'll start about 25 minutes of the show. Thank you. Hello.
Because if she couldn't hear you, then we'll have a chance to fix it.
So, one of the main things with this is to remember here, and unfortunately I never got to meet her, so I was wondering if I could get to know her through you a little bit.
You will. And I told Alistair as well about her, and Kinsey knew a little about her too. I met her after I graduated Franklin in 09. I met her quite a few years after, and a program here in New Haven that was for mostly folks with mental health, but there were a couple ASEers like her and I. And she and I were both teaching candidates at Gateway Community College here in New Haven, eventually Southern, Kansas State University. She was a very high-strung person in a good way, and I'm like that too. I like to say she called herself a half Sicilian bitch, because that's one way to call herself. She was autistic, bipolar, Sicilian, Scottish. She was very proud of heritage-wise.
Strong personality.
Type A, and she's very, my way, the freaking highway kind of approach. Yep. And I even still see her parents to this day. They're in West Haven where she grew up, and she's on her own in Camden, or the Mountain Ride, in New Haven. And we did a lot together. I give a little brief synopsis of what we did together in our professional endeavors. But you'll hear some stories throughout the night too. I'll introduce my friend Lucas, who knew her from West Haven as well. He actually moved to West Haven just before their senior year, 2 years after I graduated FA, and went off to New Haven.
Okay.
And she moved in the program after they graduated, and then he came from the Bronx originally. So they didn't know each other all 4 years, just that last final year. She wanted to go to Franklin. I actually heard about it through me. But of course, Franklin's still kind of under the radar, as you know. It's still kind of a hidden gem.
Yeah.
I've told Fred it's like our diamond in the rough in Star School. I went down there last year to visit everybody. And my sister actually lives in Haddam now, so it's not far.
Very nice, yeah. Hop on a skip.
Well, yeah, more like a swim, because it's the river. But if the
Yeah,
bridge
the
is out,
bridge
forget
work,
about
right?
it. The
Yeah,
bridge is more
exactly.
like a deep sea dive. But so, yeah, I was just down there with, we were playing some more of this during one. What's up?
Oh, no, we're just,
Oh, the help desk. Yeah, the help desk is fun.
the help desk is
Thank you.
you do very good.
So good.
I took off the cup too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only thing is
Yeah, it makes
you
it
might
nice.
want to like angle the microphone a little bit so that this is your face more on the screen because you're kind of looking over that way, which is not a problem.
Yeah.
But if we angle it a little bit more so you're,
Let me ask Paul, because he's
Yeah.
he's outside the mic.
yeah,
He's in the bathroom, I think.
yeah, that'll be cool.
Sure. And so, yeah, thanks. still can't hear. What
Did,
the hell?
she can't?
No.
Okay, then. Okay, let me go on the other side then and see if I can.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, good. We can touch base a little
What are you,
bit.
a specialist? Oh, what specialist right here?
No, I was a res dean, but I really probably should have been a counselor because I got a master's in counseling.
Oh. Well, you know, back in the day when I was at Franklin, the deans actually hold. I don't know who holds the baton now. I think it's counselors, right?
No, it's still that. I'm in
No,
a
who holds
weird
it, sorry.
omni-tool position where I've basically done a little bit of everything at Franklin through my time.
Where they plop you, they plop you. At this point,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So where are you going to be next year? You think? You know?
Well, I'm looking to kind of work either at a private practice firm here in New Haven or
Okay.
potentially just kind of need a parking spot Yale.
Where are you from originally? Which part connected?
I'm from, I can't remember right now, 1 second.
Carry on.
Housewood Road, Pomfret Center. Pomfret Center.
Oh, it's all the way up by UConn, right?
Oh,
Northeast corner.
we're way past stores. We're actually 15 minutes from Massachusetts.
Could she
15
not
minutes from
hear you
Rhode
because
Island.
it was soft?
Oh shit! Should I say it again whenever we get here?
No, but I just talk so that, and then ask your mom if she can hear. Because my volume's on high, but I don't see
Oh,
volume.
Justin put some comments in there too.
Sorry.
Oh, good.
Amy, what did you say to do? Amy. Which way? Show me. Oh, anywhere. Just so.
It's 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay. But it's on the sound card on her computer or anything, you don't think? Or because it's speaking to her, and if I can hear. Oh, it's already on. Can anybody hear it on the computer? See if we can get any computer hearing. Because my mom couldn't hear it on the computer.
Keep going. And just make sure that you go into it so like when you turn your head away, then it doesn't go.
Can you hear me now, Mom? You know, somebody that is really not that tech savvy, she's getting a lot better. Let's give her some credit, though, guys. So, in Cheshire. So, got the piano working.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You should be able to hear this, Mom. Text me if you don't, but,
Well, if she didn't hear you, she won't text.
No, she did, though. That's what
Oh.
she just can't hear, so. She's watching from her iPad or her desktop, maybe.
Good. So,
The PC.
wait, so. Did you tell her to?
They tell her.
We were going to do a sound check again?
Not yet. Justin wants to comment and says, "Yo, we're plugging the mushroom grass tomorrow too. Awesome." I guess not. You had presents here, I always presents. I'm not having any other conversation. Every time I don't know exactly what I'm saying. They're posting too much or it irritates me. It's like, this part of country checking. One of my favorite expressions is, why do I send out, any cats or dogs just to scratch them off and lie them with them?
Yeah, right.
What's up?
Sorry. What would you, if somebody wanted to go to help me do a sound check, where would they sign in? What would they do? Go to Facebook?
Well, then we log into my account again?
No. Oh, you'd have to invite them.
Yeah. Who do you think of, Lisa?
Yeah. Well,
But she won't friend me back anyways for some reason. I'm the alum. I'm just thinking, all the other, other faculty. Friend me on Facebook, friend me on my settings.
oh, she doesn't friend anybody on Facebook.
She has you guys, it's employees.
Yeah, she doesn't do any alums.
Really,
or
that's
students.
poopy poopy.
You know what else I'm gonna do? I just checked and
You know
I
what?
could hear you pretty good through that.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna turn the speaker a little bit this way because I
Okay,
just realized
so I'm not going to face the speaker call saying too. What happened to your diet? I thought you wanted to do your diet status.
There wasn't any following.
There's a couple on the table.
It's okay.
Are you sure?
If other people, if other people do diet, they get diet.
I want you to have like a blood and liquid right now. You're not diabetic. It's
No, I'm not diabetic. I can cheat.
And Justin does have his purple on. I said, you make sure you have your purple on. I should make a joke. I can't do a purple check on a spot check on everybody here, but
You can't do I did my purple check
you
this
selfie,
morning.
yes. Yes, in their office school, yep. Your office is going to get lemony color.
Yeah, it is.
You
Well,
painted
that
or
was
was that-
Mary. Mary
No, I
made
thought it
it.
was Tom's originally, then it was Mary's.
Yeah, Mary's the one who painted it yellow.
Oh, what was Tom's? It was like a brownish color, wasn't it?
Yeah. Kind of
sepia,
that ugly, yeah.
the hazy color.
Yeah, yeah.
How have you predicted the damn haze?
You know,
Seymour Thomas
I don't
haze.
ask for it.
Yeah.
That's funny, hey. We have our grill out there,
Oh, at
and when
home?
there's a lot of pollen, you can see the pollen on it.
Oh.
Today, this morning, I went out there, and it looked like there was ash on it.
Oh,
Very thin, but
it was
from the
there.
air, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Freaky.
Well, thanks for adjusting the sound there, Paul.
Did you hear them?
Hold on.
Or did you go away?
It takes like 2 years to get used to. And used to isn't like, oh, no, I'm better. It's just the level of exhaustion that comes with it. It becomes normalized. You're no longer like, oh, I'm exhausted. The level of exhaustion is now like you don't need anything.
If anything, maybe we might use my phone, you know, to just use it as a webcam, just use it from my camera app if we really need to.
Yeah.
And I was upload it as a video. There's Jolene. You still didn't hear it. Why not?
So, tell her maybe she needs to turn the volume up on her whatever.
Yes,
device.
turn my computer off. She just went, hey, Jolene. Good.
Honestly, it's a pleasure to meet you. I love your side. He did a good job. Amy loved those. And you.
So like, I don't know. It was sorry to bother you. Right. So like, I mean, because the question is now.
I know.
I'm already like my own expectations. So I need to get used to the new me, unfortunately. Which is I'm trying to avoid this word a little bit. Less
Dude, you can't make this up.
yeah. That's been my issue. I was gonna say overall.
Yes. Oh, do not answer that. Do not answer that. No.
Yeah. Well, that's like not that stuff. I was being old too early.
Another call.
So I'm just. I didn't know what it was. Yeah.
And I made a mistake again.
Yeah. I'll just be. Otherwise,
Do you know that when spam bots call you,
family life is going pretty all right.
they sell their numbers to other spam bots?
So just ask for fire. Get some more for the fire. Yeah. So close to it.
I answered. It was right there. I said, hello? Hello?
My job across the
And then we both made the joke.
I'm very excited. Very excited. At this point,
I had nothing better for purple, by the
it's
way.
no longer. So today felt good too, because also, to be honest, part of the year like questioning will I ever get my for how well I've been productive today. There's so many things that you down the road, and it wasn't even like, oh, I'm gonna drive myself to do it. I'm forced to do it, which is not something I've experienced basically for the entire school year. It's been like, how do I? Yeah, so I'm glad that that's still in there somewhere. The motivation to get stuff done. Guilty? No, come on. I'm still a little tired. Like, I got more stuff to do. I'm sorry, I'm so. I still love these things. I guess, right? I told my other guy, go around, tell us so that wants to meet up at time.
That one phone call.
You're a trained stop and wait, and I'm sorry, I'm not used to Mr. I live in a city, there's things to do, so.
My number is
You. Yeah. Also, you're once again, if you want to crash, you know, you would have been able to do something in the city. Now we say there's a guy that's going to Vegas for a week in a week's time, so don't doubt that. But any other
Kids turn up our speakers, I think.
What?
well, if you get to a second story window, we're apartment. Oh, but yeah, I think you also enjoy that.
Oh, yeah, that's how I
They
got
miss
them
screens.
through their
Oh my god, Suki gave me a heart attack. She ate so much fudge
Because I told her
yesterday.
to.
And it's just, it's mind-boggling. We spent like,
Oh, no, but I know them because of.
So they pushed a rolly chair next to a desk. Climb on the desk. Climbing on the desk, they got onto the kitchen counter to get to the fudge. The level of innovation shown by that little ball. Yeah. So anyway, their privileges have been heavily revoked. We've changed where their PhD area is. built like a brick privy, and because this person was on answering the cash all the time, he would intentionally include them to take counters and like, get their attention like very forcefully. So like I'm going to do an approximation. He does this with his nose of his boot. Like yeah, he like tries to boot through you. So like you gotta start petting you gotta start doing it on repeat, like pay attention to me. And he'll nip at both heels and whatnot. So like we're trying to maintain my both retiring years as the alpha dog, and he just can't fight anymore in that way. And it was so funny because both Dixon's a fucking dog. And yeah, we already sent him out. Was like, oh yeah. And as soon as the sun got here, he went, you can go back and do more no wolves and whatever. Go say something like private. We can try to get inside, so I'll be like, look, my gang's here, you're out of here. So, and like, try to keep going. 6 months, get over here. It's kinetic, it's not. And it's very much an indoors dog. I like speeding
A lot of beers. Oh, that's very optimistic. They show up, one couple of our hats will stand there, and then they go home. That's your last option. Alright, let's get to work. We put one slash like alright, Isaac. Yeah.
I even brought my idea. I was ready for one bear. Now two.
Well, like, I've been asking, I've been asked by a student a few times, like, how many wolves do you think you can take on? I'm like, I don't know with you. I think it's one. I think you can take on like 6 other wolves. I know, like, the wolf protection strategy, like, they go for the jugular, so you
To be fair, I think people should be like, yo, I need
But as soon as you see which one, wolves travel with packs. That's what they should have done.
that's their unique chance. I'm gonna be like, oh my god,
I don't think I have it.
one breath.
Maybe I'm
Not coming there.
because like if I check out away, they're
Break down, but don't even glue it down.
I do not have to run into the situation in real life. I'm glad that I am
I
protected
kind of
from
did that in the
having with my
buses
wolf.
when I first got him. He wanted to like jump at me all the time. He was like noise and everything. So I tried to get rid of that. Was like that was
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the idea itself was like, you don't
yeah. We went to fucking
which is good. How are they going to execute?
Okay, she hears everybody talking good. She hears everything fine.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. There we go.
He says the piano is a little Just waiting for a couple more people to show up there. We're gonna run late. Keelan, my friend that's a vegetarian and from Cheshire, and I think that's it. And then we'll,
And then we'll start.
yeah, we'll just fly with the words.
It's because, you know, my thing was, you hear the bad publicity. Are there. Oh, God.
I have, unfortunately, I'm a homebody, so many people do everything bad, and I
I put it on my story too.
Oh, yeah.
I never usually use the story part. I just use the.
I put things on my story, I think, but I don't ever
The story
know how to get
vanishes,
to my
but the story vanishes. That's why.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. So don't put it on
I've
story.
never seen it.
So don't put it on story for me because it'll go poof as soon as it's done. Because that way I can't get it back to show other people.
I didn't know that. I didn't
Can you
know
get
my
off story now, just so we can before we start, so I don't have to worry that it's not going on forever.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, we don't want it gone forever.
No, I want it staying forever. You know?
Yeah, maybe I'll record it too.
Yeah,
with
that's
my
what I'm thinking.
phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna suggest that when we
just
get.
do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Well, we'll do both.
Yeah, just if you can run the meter here, you know.
Yeah.
Just wait for one more friend of mine. Yep. You want a cupcake?
No, I have one already. So
Oh, you-
Lord knows I can't have another one, Tim.
Who's gonna know? Who's gonna know?
I'm having a Coke.
Who's gonna know? Will Sarah be something to have when you get home tonight? No.
Oh no, she won't care. Although my mom would be like, do you really want this?
My mom still says that, so please.
Mine too.
Yeah, and my son too.
57.
His wife Gail says the same thing. He's 81, so
So
there you go.
there you go.
We have our octogenarian representative. And he's the one I worked under when I was a Cheshire lawyer from the state courts that turned into an adjunct professor. That's what I was mentioning all the time. He's a cool guy. He really is. He looks great for 82. I don't know it. He just had a watchman put in at the beginning of the year, like I think for his heart, like it's his AFib regulation. That's my friend Chrissy. She's the one at the pretty nurse at the health center. She's like, she looks she may look like you, but I know she's really in grammar school, so in Cheshire.
Her puppy's so cute.
Yeti, he got a stick. Yeti, he's got a stick. My friend Cindy Wright, who is a family friend of mine from the church too. You, my dad, know my mom, and me, of course. We're going to there tomorrow night, actually, in Brantford. And she's commented on the post I made for this morning because I'm amazed we know all the songs. Well, I do that by purpose. You know, I don't like all the newer stuff. I like the old stuff. I listen to it all the time.
So Lauren's parents streaming too?
Yeah, they are.
That's good.
Yeah, they don't have Facebook. We're just going to watch it from, I think John has a Facebook, and then, they have Lauren's old account. The one that I tag in those posts is her high school age account. The one that she got rid of when I got hacked on my old account was her adult account. But
right.
No, 6:15 now, so I just want to wait for Keelan. Definitely have a good
His community back at Franklin's high school kind of came here for support. We've never.
My words hurt. The screen, closed captions, mom. Yeah, they always turn on. I think now Facebook has that as a default thing for those that are hard of hearing. House is not very intuitive up there. Yeah, I saw that on Instagram. Yeah, you had to go to the field guide and something. Actual literal book, not even a website.
That's one of those ones no one cares about. No one cares about that legalized.
Yeah, the book there too, they're going to take you like their stuff like this.
No, I've been doing it.
Oh, but kind of useful.
I stepped out for a second. I went to Pittsburgh before I did my master's.
That's not far from Franklin, Norwich. You know,
No, it's about
Seeing the billboard.
his girlfriend.
30 minutes.
Yeah, maybe. Well, 82 is kind of long, so yeah. Franklin, my boarding school professor is in East Adam, so Kinsey is our director of whatever you are now. It's
Director of Development.
associate director. Who's
Oh,
director?
no, I got a new title. Well,
Doesn't know.
it's not official until July 1st.
Of course.
Director of Development.
Oh, that was about what?
Director of Development.
Well, that was what Mary was. So we'll do advancement then, or it'll be you as well. Just change the name.
It's always the same.
It's a soup can.
It is a soup can.
But then who would make it associate? Why did Fred call it associate and not,
Because
technically he would be the first director of advancement and president?
yeah, and actually when we came up with the title, I was like, well, we don't actually have a director of advancement. And Mary was like, oh, you're the director of advancement, Fred.
That's Mary for you.
Yeah. So then
Wasn't Mary was the director of Doctor of Ministry, right?
Yeah, she
Amy's taking chapel
She's
seat
got a
over.
demon, yeah.
Yeah, that's what Amy's gonna do. She almost on.
Yeah. That's so
So in
cool.
which faith was she
A lot of
ordained in?
work, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah. Which she ordained in? Which church though? Quaker? right? Because she was at the Quaker school, friend school.
Oh, I don't know.
Wasn't she from
actually.
Pittsburgh originally?
Yeah.
And so was Krishna.
No, I know. I'm not weird.
Did Krishna show up on Saturday or no? He didn't come, right? Dave didn't come either. Dave said he wasn't invited. I heard.
Did Casenti?
Yeah.
He was invited.
Yeah. So why is he being salty? Everybody was invited, right? The whole even Krishna, right? Everybody.
Every,
An all call, basically. You know.
tell him he was invited.
He was told not to invite, but and there, did you hear that? I don't know if Sam Clark talked this still, but she
I
posted
saw it,
something.
yeah.
Who was doing the hacking or that? That's not Fred. It's a fake.
But,
It's like an email that people are getting from alias Fred, but it's not Fred.
oh.
That's what she's
Is she
tagging
doing
everybody
it?
in. Yeah. No, she's not doing it. She's putting the word. And she's putting you in there just so that she can tell Fred, hey, you gotta look into this kind of thing.
Oh.
Because, it's using his name for the
Oh, I
place.
gotta
block.
see it. I didn't see that.
I'll show it to you later, whenever I see it. We'll have to get there before the summer ends. I'll come down, you come up, wherever. Gotta connect. You are an integral member of the Phoenix Warriors unofficial family. And yeah, Phoenix is named for the school mascot, of course, not Arizona. Because I get LinkedIn messages sometimes. You have any Arizona openings? Like it says in Haven, Connecticut. I want to say that, but I don't want to be an asshole.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And Mom sees the words on the screen. She sees the words on the screen. She says, "Oh, again, it's the captions, Mom." Basically has them on default now. I think people are deaf or hard of hearing. People read them blurbs of people's words. Yeah. So make sure you keep the piano a little bit and make it again, I think.
Yep. I'm just gonna keep it lower than the vocals.
Yeah, but definitely, make sure I can hear it. I'm just gonna go along with it. Yeah, of course. Feeling to be any minute. I can probably start when it's 5. Just to have a heads up. I'll do a check. All right, guys. In about 5 minutes, we'll start the show. We're just waiting for one more friend of mine. Hopefully, she's on her way. And we'll go. So, stay tuned. Woo.
Because I think my ticket was like.
If you're looking for people to sing,
It was like a round
offers
trip
for
between New York
putting a
and
new song.
LaGuardia.
Like,
I love Prince. Most people
G
don't know
song and then doing a lot of like Cheshire. Like, so.
And we grew up in
Yeah, we
LaGuardia.
do a lot of covers of, familiar songs. That's the same. I'm trying to learn this question about
It's like about
the agenda's been in works with her. Next time I do something, I'll definitely keep in mind. Change information. On my, what do you call it, my callback list.
my uncle, he paid for the first night, and we paid for the second. He paid for the first and second night. I didn't pay for the third. I think it's like $200. Those are good big hotels. Cool hotel. It's just that, yeah, literally, man. He was there for so much time. I saw something over Denise because she got stuck up.
good move. I
will never stop being.
I haven't. Thank you for Facebook. I don't know if you guys my account. Enjoying it? Good luck to start reading the second one. Get ready in 3 minutes to start, recording.
Yep.
3 minutes, Dad. 3 minutes. 3 minutes here. Gonna buy your attention message here and put this into. You're gonna good mix of bunch of people.
Absolutely.
All age groups except for teenagers and young 0 to 12 represented here, I think. So, Harry just turned 25 yesterday. What? In dog and human years. That's very true there, Jolene. Very, very true. We went to Lenny's in Cranford, the seafood place. It's really good.
I've never been there.
I know it's got a politically incorrect name now, Lenny's Indian Head Inn, but No, but my friend Cindy and Greg Wright, who glad they know the song list. We're out tomorrow. They knew my mom and dad from Cheshire, and they, they're part of the church in Fairfield in Cheshire. So, we're out today tomorrow to pick up for supper. And we usually have to do like a monthly dinner, the three of us, so that's good. And they try to see my mom too, but it's hard to coordinate. My mom likes to travel, you can tell. And Cindy and Greg have a business of their own still. They're in Guildford, on the green at the tea shop there. They have a tea and spice shop they operate in Greenwich. So.
Yes, exactly. Where am I here?
Are you about ready?
I think so.
Alright.
None of you are seeing one different. Your trajectories are very similar. Very, very cringy. Got better.
How did they know this was like the German
Alright, guys. Showtime. Who's ready? Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so our first act of the evening will be our good friend here, Lucas Gabriel. Gabriel or Gabriel?
I know what Gabriel's about. I
Like the age of we are in a church, so no, we are in a church. Lucas, would you you'll be singing a cappella, an original OG song?
Yeah, this
written-
song I wrote with my friend Frankie back when I was in.
Yes, and so Lauren and him went to school in West Haven together. Their final year, and then Lauren was there all 4 years, but Lucas was not. He came from elsewhere to Connecticut. Where? The Bronx, right? New York?
Merrimack, New York. West
Merrimack. So that's Westchester, right? Westchester
Yeah.
County? Okay, and so they only used it for that 1 year, and so I didn't know Lauren until a few years after their senior year, when she and I moved into that program together here in New Haven. It's I don't want to say it's not fair that he knew her first, but just happened to work out that way, I guess. But so this OG song is called "Believe in Yourself." It's gonna be a cappella, already written by Lucas, and have at it, man. Go for it.
Yeah, thank
Give it up for
you. I
Lucas.
don't have much to
I don't remember much of it, but here we go.
Believe in yourself for whatever you are. Believe in yourself 'cause you're a star. Tomorrow will be a brighter day. So the dark skies go away. Do 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 do. Till tomorrow's a brighter day. Do 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 do. 'Cause tomorrow's a brighter day.
Thanks, everyone. Short and sweet is always the best way to go sometimes, and that truly is inspirational for everybody here, and a good way to kick off tonight. So, alright, so how this is going to roll for the rest of the night is Paul has been gracious enough to spend a lot of time with me on these piano covers of very popular songs that most people know. And so each song will be, kind of like paired with a little story about Lauren, how it connects to the evening's ordeal. Well, maybe not an ordeal, we're not going to suffer here, hopefully. Is it too early to make age jokes? Or too late to make COVID jokes?
No.
Anyways, so what we're doing is we're going to do a little story about each song, and so this first one is a Rafi Kevokian, or Rafi, as he's known by most, if not all people. Rafi is an inspiration of mine as well as Lauren, and Rafi I had the opportunity to meet just after we met, her and I. So late 2012, Lauren and I moved into that program here at New Haven and America's Young Adult Services. And we didn't foresee at that point, of course, what would happen next. We were friends for a very long time. We dated from 17 onwards, and we, of course, had other people before that. But, so in the early part of 13, I received word from the internet that Rafi was coming to New Haven. Naturally, Lauren was envious and jealous because, as an early childhood candidate for teaching, she would have wanted to probably go, I'm sure, because Rafi is known for his early childhood work as well as environmental work. So, when I had gotten tickets, unfortunately, at that point, they already bought, so I couldn't bring her along. But my mom and I went down to the Schubert here downtown New Haven, saw him perform live, and I remember she wanted a whole exact play-by-play description of the entire concert's festivities. So all I really need is really a great song to kick off with, because it is a protest song, about what everybody wants in life. The basics, not, material possessions, or the latest and greatest technology, or the latest and greatest kicks, or whatever. So let's go with all I really need, guys. So here we go. A song in my heart, food in my belly, and love in my family. All I really need is a song in my heart, and love in my family. And I need the rain to fall. Oh, I need the sun to shine, to give life to the seeds we sow, to give the food we need to grow. All I really need is a song in my heart, and love in my family. Join us now. All I really need is a song in my heart, food in my belly, and love in my family. All I really need is a song in my heart, and love in my family. And I need some clean water for drinking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I need some clean air for breathing, so that I can grow up strong, take my place where I belong. All I really need is a song in my heart, and love in my family. All I really need is a song in my heart, food in my belly, and love in my family. All I really need is a song in my heart, and love in my family. Yeah. All I really need is a song in my heart, love in my family. Love in my family. For Lisa, Lance, Lloyd, and John. Love in my family. For Phyllis, John, Kelly, and Ken. Love in my family. For all of you here online, all in my family. What? Yeah, no, but gotta get the dap in. All right. How about ready to kick off things, right?
Absolutely.
Alright, so the next one, and thanks for our little background here, from Paul. So, okay, little thank yous first before I start. Thank you to Paul again. Thank you to our friend John. fact that Lauren, and I would both be, been out of shape at times. We all get out of shape. We get anxious, we get, overwhelmed, we get frustrated, we feel like life is gonna, bring us down. But sometimes the best words are, take it easy. So without further ado, by the Eagles, take it easy. Not too bored of it after a while, right? So, when you play something ad nauseum, over and over. So, let's break it down a little bit now. Thanks to Paul being an expert musician that he is. By the way, free plugs to the Mushroom Cloud. They're dropping this single tomorrow night. Check them out. What's the name of the song? Mobius, that's right. Mobius. It's I haven't listened to it yet. Well, tomorrow. I don't want to do. I can't until then. I don't think it's on the paywall. No.
It's gonna be released tomorrow. Yeah, like midnight or something.
Oh yeah. So basically in the next 6 hours.
Yep.
So yeah, my friend Paul and his brother Ross are with here tonight. And John and Paul over here. Paul and Ross are Paul is here with us. Ross is my year, and my friend Justin's here too. In 08 before I went off to Franklin. And so Paul inspired me to put this lineup together. You know, I wanted also to go from the get-go about what songs really make a difference for Lauren, and you know, and how to think of her. But you know, being an extra musician, you know how to put it in the right fit, you know, from top to bottom, without you know going happy, happy, happy all the way through, and maybe something a little more downbeat. So let's go with Lean on Me. This song, by the way, is one of my favorites to duet with Lauren back in the day. You know, she and I would duet this all the time together, and so I'm gonna take a little artistic license here tonight. And you may know with Bill Withers gone too. A lot of these musicians, unfortunately, are gone. Are covered today. We got Bill Withers gone now. We got Ben Fry, the Eagles, one of the Eagles singers and musicians. We got Delphon, who just signed here. Delphon, he'll be featured later tonight, back in March. But you know, I think they're all together now. And then my dad's up there, of course, in heaven. So is Lauren. So is my sister Kim. The past before I was born, my grandparents, Lauren's grandfather John Henry, Dolce Akba, that's her mother's father. You know, we'll see them again. We'll see all our loved ones again, no matter who we got are up there. You know, and my friend Matt Hernowitz in Cheshire, by the way, he always would say this. You know, after Lauren died 2 years ago, we were hanging out in the 7-Eleven on Campbell Avenue in West Hampton's parking lot. We went out, you know, 2 days after she passed. We went out, got my mind off it. We went to get sushi. You know, I gorged myself full of sushi. So did he. You know, I think Lauren would approve of that for sure. You know, hey, you're grieving, you want to make the most of it, right? You don't want to, you know, celebrate the good times and, you know, enjoy something that she would enjoy, which was sushi. And so we were sitting in the West Hampton 7-Eleven parking lot, and I said to him, so what do you think about, you know, if say you're like the last of your family go up to heaven, and you know, when you have like you get the crappiest room in the whole heaven, you know, you're like the horse barn, basically. You guys have cleaned up all the horse crap, and Matt and I just were cracking each other up because you know we're like, well, and he says to me, well, hope you grab your shovel because everybody else, like, you know, Lauren's already up there, your dad's up there, your mom will be up there at that point, you know, Kim and everybody will be up there. So yeah, just start taking out the horse poop. So that's always a good joke that we made. We still make that joke 2 years later, and I think, you know, I just imagine Laura saying, "Now, well, enjoy your horse poop, Tim. You know, I'll save you a nice warm shower, cold shower to rinse off of afterward if you have need for such showers up there." So, you know, me and Laura and I would do it a lot. You know, back in the day, the open mics and we did together at Marrakesh or AAC mental health presentation work. And it's a great song just so you know that everybody should be there for each other. I know it's a lot more these days, you know, because you know, for whatever reason, but let's hope that reverses and hope we can all support each other no matter what we have, good or bad. Without further ado. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if there are things you need to borrow, for no one can fill all of is it all of your needs? All of your needs? On. Those are your needs. Those of your needs that you won't let show. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry sorry guys. That you can't carry on right up the road. And I was a mile away from her. We all. I'll share your load if you'll just call me. Call me if you need a friend. Call me. Call me. Or text, Facebook, I am, whatever. Call me. Oh, call me. Twitter or Instagram or whatever else is out there. There's so much to keep track of. They're going to take some artistic license. I think Phil would okay with that. Phil with us. Call me. Yeah, we one of our musicians on campus right across the New Haven Hamden border, and in half-hour walking distance and a short 5 to 7 minute car and bus ride away. So we met at that program in 2012. And we were living in the same building at that point, in Marrakesh over on Gilbert Avenue, which is right by St. Raphael's Hospital. And yes, tears will come naturally tonight, and I'm sure they'll come with this long session. So, at the point I met her, we were just platonic BFFs. We had our ups and downs. We had people in the program, both employee and clientele that were also living there like us. We didn't fit in, the two of us. A lot of those clients there had other conditions. They weren't on the spectrum with ASD and mental health together like the two of us. And so we did feel kind of out of place, coming from Franklin and Chaplain. After that, I care for Chaplain. I love Franklin, by the way. Yes, I am the Kiss enthusiast, but I love her to death, and she's a great mom. And I have to, I'm a better alumni rep of Franklin than Crapple Hell. But anyways, so when I left Chaplain to go to Yaz, and then she moves in a year later, again, fitting in with the only two ASD folks. And everybody else really didn't get us. We felt like we had to kind of forge our own path there. And so she started working at Walgreens over on Bailey Avenue and Blake Street. And she'd hear Bubble Keep Us Alive by the Eagles all the time on their PA system. Played probably as much as my dad would play to easy, I'm sure. Probably pretty much at least 4 or 5 times a shift. She worked, 3 or 5 hours a week. I'm sorry, a day, 15 hours a week. She'd probably hear it at least twice, I'm sure. So Bubble Keep Us Alive, she would always deem our song. And it didn't really hit home until after we started dating. And I think she was right. It kept us alive, for sure. It kept us alive, both physically and spiritually in our case now. And I think she when she went through the hell she went through 6 years ago with her ex, for code name purposes, we'll use what we called him after a while, Mexican midget. And he was a little half shorter, and I know that's kind of insulting, but hey, he was a bit of a prick, so I think he deserves it. And so when we dated after that, I think it was obvious that we needed each other. I was newly single. I was with a different girl that was not on my quite level with autism. She and I had a lot in common to an extent. We were back since Cheshire High, since Franklin, even kids who know what I'm talking about, even what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna mention her name. Her mom had split us off, and so I remember showing Lauren the email written by the person's mother, the other person's mother, and Lauren basically says to me in 2 words, "You guys are done," or that's 4 words, but. So that same summer of 16, I was moving to Wethersfield. I had spent a year up there. Came back to New Haven from summer of 17. I knew I needed to be back in New Haven because she was going through so much hell with her ex at the time. Came back in each day from Gateway. Mike remembers that I had him in Western Civ class, and now I worked with him as a teacher assistant at the school for a while. And and she would have gone over to summer with me as well. I just finished up at Gateway. Coming in from summer of 17, I get back to New Haven at the end of June, so it'll be 6 years in a few weeks. She says to me, one day we go to the courthouse, put a restraining order under her ex's, to cover our butts in case he tries to harass us. And thankfully it was a lifetime. The judge was very sympathetic. We had to, we didn't have to convince her at all. The judge was like, I'm giving you guys basically a lifetime restraining order. So, I was protected and I still am. She was until she passed. Thankfully, it hasn't kind of been since, and I don't think he planned on it. For a Texan, he's a kind of a coward. And so we went out, went outside of the courthouse down in New Haven. She starts kissing me on the camera, right in front of the camera, where there's cameras that control the perimeter of the courthouse. And I said, Lauren, people are gonna walk by, the attorneys, the other judges, the other people, getting their defendants and plaintiffs. Let them see. She care less. What she wanted. And what she wanted was to keep herself alive, and me alive, and she had me, and I had her. So Lauren Julia, Dulce Aqua MacDonald, my rock star, ASD, bipolar, Libra, type A, extrovert, hard as hell personality sometimes to deal with, but hey, you know, I think me and I complement each other quite well. You know, she got me out of my too nice, she got me a little bit more, you know, girl pair of, you know, what's and do it kind of approach to things. These rockstar balloons here, her favorite color purple, a lot of you got purple on, thank you. If you don't, that's okay, you know, I was not gonna do like a purple spot check of people, you know, on the camera, like take a selfie if you're watching from home and prove that you're wearing your purple, that you're just, you know, just bluffing me. We have the purple and silver balloons because she is my rockstar love and she always will be. Sure, I'll date again. Maybe I will, but I'm not ready to. Not ready yet. But when I get to heaven, I'll look for her. I'll look for my dad. And I'll look for Kim, the sister I never met. I'll look for everybody up there. If you guys are all there too, I'll say, well, thanks for coming to a kick-ass concert back in 2023. Maybe do a reprise up there. You know, maybe Christ and maybe God will give us a free auditorium space, you know, up there too, in this church. So let's go. Love will keep us alive. Lost and lonely, now you've given me will to survive. When we're hungry, love will keep us alive. Don't you worry, sometimes you just gotta let it ride. The world is changing right before your eyes. Now I found you, there's no more emptiness inside. When we're hungry, love will keep us alive. I would die for you, climb the highest mountain. But you probably won't do that, kind of clumsy. I'm gonna fall off, I'm sure, at some point. There, baby, there's anything I would do. Hold on. Oh. Now I found you, and she found me, and I found her. There's no more emptiness inside. When we're hungry, love will keep us alive. You know, if I did climb up a mountain for her, I'd probably, you know, if she had to save me, probably if I did fall off, because, you know, I'm sure, you know, I wouldn't want to, like, break a skull or anything, you know, unless, you know, I would want to say, well, then again, maybe I would have the courage to go up there. I'm not going to do China, I'm going to West Star, East Star, you know, easier mountains, but I'm not going to do, like, what's the one in Alaska, McKinley Peak, or the ones in the Himalayas, or the ones in the famous ones you see about these guys all the time. No, I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. Good thing in the world to do that, probably. She wouldn't want to, you know, I'm sure you'll go up there either. It's a lot of work to do if you're getting in shape for that too. I would die for you, climb the highest mountain, baby. There's nothing I wouldn't do. I was standing all alone against the world outside. You encounter, but I kind of preset criteria to date again when I'm ready. They have to be on the spectrum. They have to be neurodivergent. They have to be, on their own. They have to be, hopefully, got, good career going or good schooling going, higher education. I think I'm, I think Lauren satisfied all those requirements, so to speak. But, I don't want to say that I don't want to go in blind. I don't want to date somebody I already know. Kind of like I promoted Lauren from BFF to GF after those first 6 years knowing her, from the time after I saved her from that ex. And by the way, if he is watching, which hopefully he's not, because he's, it's an invite-only link to the stream, and it's only on my page, and it's my friends. Of course, I, blocked him years and years ago on my old account, and my newer account now. But, I think it's really, it's really special that we had such a great connection, and we didn't know what was going to happen, in 2012. We just thought, oh, well, in that program that we met at initially, they kind of frowned upon boys and girls being just friends because they had some other clients that were dating each other and, broke rules, which was against the rules of that place. And they were always kind of like heightenedly suspicious of us breaking the rules, which they had no reason to be, clearly, because, again, we were with other people. And, and then I think they don't understand that boys and girls can be friends, and definitely just friends we were. So, I think we've come a long way, her and I think, if she wasn't passed on in these 2 years now, it'll be, or almost 2 years, it'll actually, this evening you guys would have been probably attending one of our comebacks from, the past 3 years with COVID, and speaking of ASC and mental health, we would have probably just done this together, her and I. She'd been, in this right here, or maybe right here, with me, and you guys have all had a chance to meet her, and some ones that haven't, would have gotten to meet her at some point. You guys would have enjoyed our little banter. We'd always have a little banter on the mics, and one time we did like a who's on first kind of thing, where instead of who's on first, we did a left-right kind of thing, because she's a lefty naturally, I'm a righty, but also ambidextrous. And on stage, left, stage, right means two different things, and it does when you're, facing an audience versus your normal hand dominance. So, we kind of screwed with each other in that sense. We kind of did like a, who's on first with a left-right kind of thing. Not my left, you're right, stage left, stage right kind of thing. It's really just kind of get our audiences kind of laugh and, kind of get them involved. So that's bringing that back tonight for way back Wednesday, because tomorrow is Throwback Thursday. So, next one we got here is, guys leaving?
Unfortunately, we have to. I suppose not. I have the spotlight. I very much appreciate getting to show Lauren through the folks that I've talked to, and it seems like you guys had a very special connection and are seeing it to be part of your friend groups and love. And it was honestly a real honor to be able to be here and to see those gathered for her.
And see somebody you already know in Kinsley, of course, and I work with on a daily basis or whatever. As a alum and as I was an employee of school, and hopefully I'll be at Frankfurt working one day soon enough too.
That would be lovely.
It would definitely be great to get back. And, I would give up living in New Haven because I've been here for 13 years, and you guys get your own housing in East Town. But again, my sister's right in Haven. I'm 20 minutes away if I need anything.
It'd be a lovely addition.
It would definitely be great. And Kinsley, tell Fred. Best drinking candies or Dean. I'll do it for all three if I need to. Or maybe I'll do even what's the other one? We're teaching INC, the Deans, right? The leadership teaching INC. So INC as well. So great to have two Franklin alumni that were after me, but definitely great to meet them in person. Thanks, guys.
A lovely rest of your evening.
Safe travels, guys. What's that?
If you notice me closing my eyes, it's because I was trying to indulge in the sweet
Oh,
flavor
absolutely.
of your-
Go for indulgent, man. Do what Asgard here does and close your eyes too. That always helps. Helps with migraines too, I
And the
hear.
rants in the mid-song, very charming. Keep doing you.
Thank you. That's true. Lauren would always say, do me, and then she would do her. And then we always would do what we thought was best. I think that was best, what I just said. So, we're on to Let It Be by the Beatles. Another duet song that one I would popularize at the old nights together, all the other things too. And you guys are always welcome to sing along if you know the lyrics. That's, I'm not kind of, exclude you guys, but I know I will give you cues if you want to, but not, just join right in, it's open forum, it's not, don't be shy. Lauren used to say when we do open mics never MCs, it takes a lot of guts to come up here on stage. Sure, it still does, but I'm not nervous, nor is she. Again, we love the spotlight. We also understood a lot of people don't like the spotlight, so we kind of, try to get people out of their niches, out of their comfort zones.
It's 7 o'clock.
So I'm encouraging you in the spirit of her in my efforts here. So feel free to sing along, let's Let It Be by the Beatles. On. Almost, it's still in C.
You need a lyric for this one?
Yeah. Good. Diet Coke break too.
Absolutely, need that.
Liquid refreshment break. Yeah, I can't do this forever now. You know, I don't know how long. How much battery do you have?
I don't know.
You brought your cell phone charger at least?
It's Samsung.
Oh, it is. I don't have an iPhone.
No, I don't have an iPhone.
That's an Apple though.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of weird. But they have the same thing. Oh, wait, I matched. I think I might have screwed up the first two songs. Just so you know.
Oh. Now you tell me.
Now you'll understand my technology issues.
Now I understand fully your technology issues.
I know I got
Who
it
made her a
right.
teacher? Oh wait, shouldn't. If she could give the link job to Fred, now our headmaster,
Yeah.
president, whatever he is now.
That's right.
Our president, Fred, not Fred
President,
Master anymore.
Fred isn't, yeah.
For shiny new job title, I don't think it's better. I think it better suits him actually. You know, I think about it.
Fred isn't, yeah.
Yeah, because he's more of the the business guy versus
That's true.
Wasn't he a history teacher?
Yeah. Ancient history.
All right, hold on. Let's get my liquid refreshment.
Good to go.
All right. Having fun so far, guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, I think it's good, man. Oldest representative of the room is an octogenarian +2. Mike should be, hopefully enjoying some of these songs. He remembers all these songs, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know, of course. I'm just gotta be ready, you know?
Always good to double check.
All right, give me in, my friend.
Here we go. I'll just go through one time.
Yeah, one time. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. In my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. And though they may be parted, living in the world agree, there will be. Hold on. I did? No.
Yep, you're right.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
Yep.
Though they may be parted, there will be still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. When the night is cloudy, there's still light shines on me. Shine till tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. I may have actually, I think, just the lyrics maybe. I think I did kind of a verse.
You want to do the? That's not great though. We could jump right back in if you want.
Or freeze, maybe not yet. I think I could probably show you how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Do it.
Rawlings says to do it. Okay, so fun fact about John Rawlings here. Let me put you on the spot for a second, man. That's John Rawlings without H, without H. Yes, sorry, man, the without H sponsor. Tyreek and I and John, even Lauren went to game together. He didn't meet her through me. No, I met them actually the same year that I was living in Leathers, were coming back to New Haven, helping her out. You know, that same year, 6 years ago. Remember, we're all sitting in the and
Yeah. We had a luncheon table.
yeah, the cafeteria tables, yep, at school. And so, John has a without H name because he got screwed over by a very bad employer. I tell the story, and he tells it so articulately, so kind of like one of those old grandpa stories that when you are an old grandpa, you make sure you tell it, please.
I'll tell the story if you want me to later.
Yeah, tell it
Have
after
your moment.
during the social hours. You know, during the
I'll
social.
have my moment later.
Yeah, you don't have your moment later. I'll just give you the Reader's Digest version for now. Rawlings gets screwed over by a bad employer. He gets, basically paid on a personal check, which he's not supposed to do that. And he made clear he spelled his name correctly without the H to the scumbag of an employer that he had to deal with. So I've been calling him John without H, or just to, in my mind, I have so many Johns to keep track of. Keep in mind, I got my sister's husband, I've got my nephew, I've got my middle name, I've got Lauren's brother, I've got, too many Johns to sort through. And then, even with John E. or Jonathan, I've got, plenty of those too. So, John without H, here he is, and he'll tell you a story, the grand story later. It's quite the thrill. I think it took like 45 minutes for him to get through the whole thing. Rather happy too, right? Fresh, his mind and fresh in the experience. So, where are we now? We're at, Obvious Child. So back onto the course here for now. Paul Simon's Obvious Child. As a kid, I would hear this song ad nauseum, just like Take It Easy, from my dad. It's Paul Simon actually recently announced he's exiting performing and touring. I've heard. He's 80, I think, now as well. He's an interesting guy. Of course, he toured with Art Garfunkel. He's done solo acts for a long time. Paul Simon's Obvious Child, my dad would play, like I said, over and over again on the 1996 Lexus SC430 coupe car he had at the time. And what was the novel technology at the time too? CDs. Yeah, 20-something years ago, 30 years ago, nearly, CDs were the biggest thing, and now we don't even know what the hell those are anymore. Some people still, some of us, but. So, Paul Simon's Obvious Child, I would call as a kid, not knowing the original name, which is of course Obvious Child, the Sunny song. There is a song, there's a character mentioned named Sunny in the lyrics. So I would say to my dad, play the Sunny song, play the Sunny song, play the Sunny song. You get the hint. After he had passed away in 2005 and I was 15, like we said, in the ALS, years went by and my mom and I are sorting through stuff that he had, left behind. And in the later months of the diagnosis, and Karen remembers, of course, taking care of him, we had set up a hospice in our family room in Cheshire at my parents' house. And there was a shoebox full of like CDs he would like to hear, while he was, living the rest of his days. I looked through the CDs one time, and sure enough, Paul Simon's album, which Obvious Child is the lead track on, the opening track, Rhythm of the Saints, was there. So, instantly showed my mom, and of course she got sad, and I got sad. I've been singing it a lot ever since, and it's got a great drum track in the original recording, but since Paul's brother Russ couldn't be here tonight, he's got a great drumming talents, but, we're going to make do with a great acoustic piano version. I think it's going to sound just as awesome, and I'm sure Paul Simon, wherever he may be in the moment, maybe he's in New York, I think he lives in New Canaan, in Rollwalker, I think I read. Wherever he may be listening, and if he is, hopefully he's not going to be offended that we're going to, change it up. And then any of the other artists that we have covered today, I just don't want them knocking at my door tomorrow saying, well, you screwed up my song, here's a lawsuit. No, I'm not going to do that. Especially Raffi, he's too gentle for that. And plus, when I met Raffi after that show in 2013, he was just the sweetest guy. And I'll talk about that story a little bit later, but we'll finish that story. So let's go with Obvious Child. Well, I'm accustomed to a smooth ride, or maybe I'm a dog who's lost its bite. I don't expect to be treated like a fool no more. I don't expect to sleep through the night. Some people say lie is just a lie, but I say, why did I the obvious child? Why did I the obvious child? And remembering a road sign, I remembering a girl when I was young. And we said, these songs are ours, these tears are free, and these songs are true, and hey now, the cross is in the ballpark, the cross is in the ballpark. You had a lot of fun, had a lot of money. had a little son, we thought we'd call him Sonny. Sonny gets married and moves away. Sonny is a baby and bills to pay. Sonny gets sunnier day by day, by day, by day. Well, I've been waking up at sunrise. I've been feeling the light across my room. I've watched the light dark, the light of receive the light of my day. So I feel the sky is just the sky, but I say, why not the obvious child? Why not the obvious child? Sonny's yearbook from high school is down from the shelf, and he idly thumbs through the pages. Some have died, some have fled from themselves, or struggled from here to get there. Sonny wanders beyond his interior walls. He runs his hands through his thinning brown hair. Well, because I'm still a smooth ride, or maybe I'm a dog who's lost its bite. I don't expect to be treated like a fool no more. I don't expect to sleep all night. Some people say a lie is just a lie, but I say the cross is in the ballpark. Why deny the obvious child? Thanks, guys. We're going to pour you a lot of music and stuff out, and we just wanted to make it our own, you know. And for the record, my hair is brown. It's very dark, like chestnut. It's not black. Whatever's left of it, because right before I went off to Aruba, and right before Gateway Commencement 3 weeks ago, I had gone to the barber shop in the Hampton area, right off the corner of Putnam and Dixville, not far from Laura and I's places. And I said, I want to get, look good for my flight. I don't look like I'm, all bushy in case they stop me at the TSA or they stop me at the passport control. Because my passport doesn't really match this, I got the newer picture 3 years ago, or 4 years ago for the photo and the passport. And he says to me, "Are there any bears in Aruba?" And I'm like, "I don't think so. It's an island. It's a tropical island or some area. I don't think they're half. We have plenty of bears up here these days." So, well, you look like a bear, so I'm going to figure all the way down, and you're going to, and this thing's coming off. Unfortunately, get this removed soon. I'm a little nervous, but it'll come off, and then I'll have, a scar for a while, and I'll be like Harry Potter, except not in like maybe they'll call me the Aruba boy who lived. Where are we now? We are on good old Pink Floyd. So this song is self-explanatory about why I picked it. Wish you were here. I do wish she was here. Of course, guys, I know you would have wanted to meet her, it also happens. And those that do know her, whether it be her mom, dad, and brother watching in West Haven tonight, or my mom in Cheshire watching tonight. They've all been here tonight, but since a lot of them did want to watch remotely or online at their leisure, they decided, Lisa, Lance, and John, and my mom, to just follow their herd and limit to, and not live on purpose. But whoever came tonight came. You guys, I appreciate you all coming tonight, so thank you again. So, Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here, definitely is self-explanatory why I picked it. So, wish she was here, but I know she is. She's here in spirit. So is my dad. Like I said, so is Kim, so is everybody else. So this is all out for them too, not just her, but especially for her. So, let's all wish our loved ones were here. So you think you can tell heaven from hell and blue skies from pain? Can you tell a cold green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? And do you think you can tell? Did they get you a tray? They're heroes for ghosts, hot ashes and trees. know, we were foreseeing, you know, had, you know, we got past, you know, finishing up at Gateway together, finishing up at Southern together, and then finishing up at, you know, our sort of teaching careers, you know, and then starting, I should say, moving together because the apartments we had weren't exactly, you know, raising kid friendly and, you know, certainly, you know, married couple friendly either. And so, you know, we were gonna marry and have kids, and so, you know, we were on that track. I think that would have been a lot easier to have her around, and I think, you know, it was definitely great. You know, I'm not salty, if you will, that I don't have more time with her. I just, you know, I'm grateful for those 9, 10 years with Danny. She'll be wherever I go, you know. So. How I wish you were here. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year, running on the same old ground. What have we found? The same old fears. Wish you were here. La da da da, la da da da. Da 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 da. Whoa, 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 da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da da da. Da da. Thanks, guys. So we're gonna take a little break. 5 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Take a little break, and then we're gonna start off the second half. There's a audience participation more in this second half. You didn't think there was gonna be, did you? Now that we have a few educators in the room, I'm looking at you,
Warm
me,
up those vocal
in
cords.
training, at least for me. I may have to grade you guys on your performance. Maybe not. We'll give you just a pass for now. Anyways, so we'll take 5, and we'll start up in 5. Yes, the audience participation segment is next.
Uh-oh. Well, we better be careful. I can't really carry a tune. I don't want to run the tape.
It's okay, AIM, Kins. Don't get me senioritis now, or Alzheimer's.
Thank you for inviting me, Tim.
Oh, no problem. Okay,
Yeah,
gonna leave
have
out?
fun. Yeah, I'm gonna leave out.
No problem, man.
Yeah, I gotta go home. I gotta work.
Wrong? Yep.
All right, man.
Gotta work again?
All right.
Oh,
I gotta work
tomorrow,
tomorrow.
right?
I'm off today.
Oh, you're
I'm
off. Okay.
today.
What
Yeah, I
days
gotta
you're
work
off? Always
tomorrow.
Wednesdays or what?
They change every week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was nice meeting you, Kenzie.
Oh, it was a pleasure. It was really a pleasure.
Nice
Let's
to
go.
meet you.
I'm on that school after the other Franklin ones, I said. Great, leave you off too, Jesse? Oh, you're wait, potty break? Perfect time then. Little halftime show. What do you think so far, Saul? Yeah, the rest of the world, by the way, like one of these. I think they're a couple of signs. The Western Wall, it's on the title. It's the big one. Yeah, it's the big bunker. Yeah, Western Wall, yeah. Joe's out in California, he probably has to go out right close to you. He took me something there. He never sent the pictures. Silly Joe. Jonah? He's probably on online teaching because the other summer classes. Oh yeah, they started earlier too. They started like the right Monday after we the exam.
Did they finish Saturday this girl?
Yeah, one first. There's like 3 sessions, like 1 or 2 week session, 3 week, and like a whole month pilots. But of course, it's the full timers. Even the Arthur Hernandez, the music guy, he was supposed to come tonight, and he hurt his hand. Chopping wood the other day, so he says to me, "I'll send him the link. He's in so much pain." Second, like, "Oh hey, Keelan, what's up? What do you think so much?" I enjoyed it. Chris Arthur, thank you. I appreciate you having your feet up there.
Well, they
There
probably.
you go. Oh, then I can first rap me here of mine. Where's on the song to rap about it in circles? So you know how I work things, you know, like
Right.
I can a little bit about it there. And then when here's more of the story in that same concert. So after after the show ended, actually we got the pit seats right in front of the troopers there, and on the stage. And so you got to meet him afterwards, and he was just loving and nurturing and
Right,
sweet
right.
and
Come
awesome.
the door and.
Off stage as on, you know, and that's the whole thing. You're supposed to be a good example for your
Right,
your
right,
work.
right.
So I show you that,
Exactly,
especially to
exactly.
the kids. That being a Jack Axel, so you can see. So he, he's a good golf friend, fans, the parents, the alumni, you grab him, Mark, and that. He's just my alumni, he's so the picture of the 2 of us, the 3 of us, and then you know, lots of walks from mom, and we're some food,
Now, like,
and
okay, now it's
Marty,
395,000.
when I came back to show her the program,
Yeah, they're saying, oh, it's.
and now you want me back to do it still? You know, I'd say that was very young, I know what you're I don't know how long you would have to. He said, much time since felt, he said, yeah, I'm watching the, guys, first in the,
I mean, I get it, it's the smallest part of things that I would like.
It's on my copy of his autobiography, some of the CDs of this,
More than that,
whatever they
I
wanted.
think the library.
Yeah, it's that kind of person market too. He says always, working with kids is kind of sketchy, it's ruining their lives, it's health and all that. He's right, that's one that I agree with, directly market, for this guy, they asked him to go upstairs and they will lose a movie to shark.
They should get way more than
Do that one day, and he's like, absolutely not. Ruin the experience,
Well, I get it.
the mentality of you don't even believe in those losses. But I found them, I believe it, so that's why, or I was saying, even something together, I don't market it, I just, I do it for the love of the game. And that's just the thing, the whole thing, so. But it sounds like you're watching my next week, or I don't know, so, are you around?
Yeah.
Or what are you up to these days? Sounds work. Sorry, John.
I don't like,
That's right, that's right.
there's not a lot that really happens there, right?
Maybe that is, you don't even check it, yeah, I don't either. And I've been here for 13 years now. I don't count the year anymore. I
Downside.
kind of bring it off the record deal. It's kind of like the, we got dropped in out here kind of thing,
Main places to eat, probably like 3,000.
Oh, fantastic. You see my can?
Yeah, I know.
Good to see my can too. I got all I read when I told her, I told her the first 1 day.
Chinese
It's
restaurant.
funny to come back,
Now they have one Dunkin'
I
Donuts.
come back in there after 4 years not eating after, it's not, I'm like, crap, I mean, I don't order it. I just say, a little bit, but, so see sunrise to me, but it was so
We
great.
were so lucky. I know.
You did a lot. Or Maroon doesn't seat cushions, so I don't know like second bag, I never told him, but, yeah, Lauren has more, cute, far more like suit, and not, singed, but. So Sean's gotta get clear, and that's the one step. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you need extra piano, because I'm actually, just want to see if you're available, that form, that's obvious. And Ross is our year, so you.
Checking out the equipment.
Oh, yeah.
It's way beyond me.
Yeah.
What's that, the tech stuff?
Yeah.
Kids, she's still learning her intermediate stage. She's not in,
I'm definitely.
mastery or.
Yeah, I am not a master. That is for sure. Okay.
I got some likes and some hearts, and I don't know if you saw them on my account. But yeah, I got some hearts and stuff.
You're live now.
Yeah, because we're pointing at the
It depends
that
how
way.
delicious the food is. The cracker.
Great. Yeah,
Thanks.
doing great. We work here tomorrow.
Take 2 minutes, guys. We'll go back up and run. So.
I think I do. I'm trying to record the whole thing, but I bitch because I know I won't be able to get it anywhere.
You might want to show the files if you can find out how to work that.
I think I hit the wrong button.
Hit the job or anything?
At least I have part of it. That's gonna be safe and warm too, right?
Yeah, everybody's like,
You're sweet of us. They don't even know Tim, but they were launched in the same school, and we have them every year. And we're like, we need their support. Yeah, I mean, we feel like, oh God.
Yeah. My mom retires next year. It's like also get a one-bedroom condo and like.
Yeah, he's so sweet. He's got such a good heart.
Have you ever had? Okay, this is going to turkey burgers, not beef.
Yeah. They get bored.
Yeah, he really does. He just carries so long. Yeah.
Got bored.
And he just brings you into a circle. And then it's you. Oh, good Lord. Oh, I was hoping to see his mom. Well, he was so tired. I felt bad. Because I know he's looking forward to it.
Good for him to get away.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, especially now. I mean, I think the more involved he's had in other games,
Try before you knock it, my friend.
Yeah.
I was telling the Thomas here, John, my age, that we have this grilled turkey burger.
Totally calling him there.
Not beef.
Oh, yeah, wait. It is a good one.
I mean, my husband built me like these raised beds.
Three cheese on
How
top.
are you?
Three cheese, very sweet cheese. And then you got grilled French without for a part flavor.
Yeah.
There's also lots of other
So I'm working on the Master Divinity.
Yes.
That's so awesome. Oh, God bless. My boss. My former boss, who retired. She had a demon. She died so while she was working. I do not know how she did it. That's quite an accomplishment.
I've been working on it 7 years. I actually got a job as a hospice chaplain about a year ago.
Oh, that's awesome. That is truly noble work.
Falling
So easy to get caught up in it and everybody has stuff and you forget that. You know, everybody has loss, everybody has burdens that they carry. You know, like, there are just people like that. Thinking about this world. It's funny how many people misunderstand people with ADHD, because they don't understand how compassionate they are, and actually
Driving her.
you don't have to drive her.
No, to get the job in Franklin, just good friend of Lamont,
Oh,
And that post for the blog.
okay, let me just tell you, if I could nudge Fred,
How about not just nudge?
I
Or
can't because he's my boss.
no, but he knows he would do it out of
I
love.
gotta keep it. I gotta keep him happy.
He loves us, so you know. And but tell him I'll email him tomorrow or Friday. And
Yeah,
home.
well,
when is he flying out to Greece?
what?
When is he flying out to Greece?
On
Tuesday?
13th.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Well, Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday's actually the 13th is my year of graduation. We were graduating a week later that year. Remember, it was like a.
Yeah.
Why was it a week later? That was weird. It's always been the first week of
It
June.
must have started later, right? No, or maybe that was the year we had an extra week
Oh,
in print 5, and then we decided that was a really bad idea.
Yeah, that's right,
6
kind of.
weeks. That
Yeah.
might have been that year. 6 weeks we went.
Yeah, it's
Because
supposed
the
to be 5
13th
weeks.
is the oldest we've ever. And I think we thought maybe we needed 5 full weeks of school, and then we'd have the week of
It's a boarding
celebration.
school. It's called a boarding school. You don't have to make up your own rules, or you do. But
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to have a certain number of days.
yeah, but even that though, it's hard to do. You have people from China or other countries coming through and not, Connecticut's rules. Alright, so I'm gonna do
Friend camera, you warm enough? Yeah.
I had my father, yeah. He made like a breakfast thing.
Alright, guys. Here's where you come in. Get ready.
Okay, hold on.
So, Laura and I were each other's lights, as they say. You must be the light you wish to see in the world, but the change you wish to see in the world by none other than Mahatma Gandhi. One of my favorite quotes, and one of the quotes I know that she and I would both live by in our individual and collective lives. So, Raffi covers the traditional song This Little Light of Mine in quite a few ways over his very long, 45 and counting years career. And so, one of the ways he does it more recently is without his 4-piece band back in the day, or his 2-piece band more after that, and now just by himself, where he started off as a solo, a concert performer, but he also had, set musicians in the studios. We're going to do This Little Light of Mine a cappella, all of us. Yes, that means all of us. However, even if you're watching from home, no, I can't do a spot check on that either. So Mom and Lisa, Lance, John, my friends in the awesome neurodivergency community on Facebook, or my friends are watching from other parts of my life, Cheshire, Franklin, Gateway, Chapel Haven, etc., etc., etc. I can't be there, to keep tabs on all of you guys clearly. But then what we're going to do is, we're going to start it very quietly. Piano, as to say, and not that piano, but that's where it's coming from, piano forte. Piano means soft, or pianissimo, very soft. And get progressively louder, progressively faster. So, we're going to go like this. What note does it start with? I think it's a G, right? Isn't it a G? Is it? Just look it up real quick. Here. Hold on, guys. That's why I have my jack of all trades here. And his man bun is pretty cool, actually. I'm not gonna lie. My mom said to me one day, a long time ago, if I come home with that, I'm not allowed in the house anymore. No disrespect, Paul. Because I already have this all gone. Well, now it's gonna grow back eventually, and then I'm gonna have to pop this thing soon. But my unicorn horn. God, this little light of mine, yeah, just give me the starting note. It's G. I think it's G. Or is it C? It's one of the two, I know. All these years of music, I took a lot of choir and piano practice and piano lessons outside of school in Cheshire years, and of course Franklin does not have a choir, sadly. Still. Hey, that's an idea. Hey, give me is it C? It is G, okay. So start me off with the G. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So far so good, guys. Gonna take this light around the world, and I'm gonna let it shine. Take this light around the world, and I'm gonna let it shine. Gonna take this light around the world, and I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Alright, keep the pace with me, good. Good. Well, let anyone get out. I'm gonna let it shine. I won't let anyone blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. I won't let anyone blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. From the top. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. For Lisa, Lance, and John, I'm gonna let it shine. For Laura, my dad, mom, everyone else, I'm gonna let it shine. For everybody online and here, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hand, guys. The little science experiment was never a cost, actually. Okay, A pluses. From THM over here.
That really proved I can't sing.
Alright, now we Alright, no, I don't.
I'm freckles.
Alright, breathe, man, breathe. Go.
That proved I can't sing.
Kizzy says she can carry 2 either, so. Not
Well,
singers.
I'll keep singing. I'm just.
Get some water? You got some water?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let fam hydrate, because I got him a job 6 years ago. You know, let one more another. I'm gonna get a job and he got a job, so. Thanks. Okay, so this one is Dale. Of course, everybody knows Dale from Beetlejuice, and Harry Dolphant died in March, I think it was this year. Actually, I remember I was at Gateway in the computer lab. It was not the day that Mike and I were teaching together in school, it was the day before, and so I was just surfing the web on my phone, and it said Harry Dolphant died. And again, we got Belafonte died, Glenn Frey died, Bill Withers died. It dawned on me that, two of the Beatles, of course, were dead too, and a lot of these musicians are gone, but their songs really do carry, and they're timeless. So when putting together this song lineup, I already had Dale in mind, and of course, when Belafonte died, I knew I had to cover it too. So then, when I had the initial lineup, in my head, and believe it or not, the initial lineup of the songs, there was like maybe 30, 40 songs I could have chosen from. We would have been all night in that case. I wouldn't want that for you guys, and then for me too. But we're about halfway through, a little bit over, and so with Deo, when I was looking through the Stop and Shop Proto Style last August in 2022, I was zooming through the banana section of all things, and I felt Lauren's spirit say to me, "Make sure you have me sing at my own bleeping concert, all right? I mean, if I don't, your ass is gonna be grass, kind of thing." Which, she wouldn't go that far, I don't think. Well, then again, let's just say having a mafia mom connections, hint, I don't think she would betray her own family, but being me, but So I was gonna originally put a couple clips in of her singing at the end of this particular for Deo. She would have sang the last, verse or two. But I felt like, more recently that, maybe not quite ready to let her voice come out of the archives I have on iCloud or on my hard drive on my computer. So I'm just gonna sing this. You guys can join in. It's gonna be an audience, call and response like Dan normally is. And you guys can join in, and Paul will probably back me up with the backings. So Deo, me say Deo, daylight come and me want go home. Deo, me say Deo, daylight come and me want go home. I work all night till the morning come. Daylight come and me want go home. Stop banana till the morning come. Daylight come and me wanna go home. 6 and 7, oh come Mr. Tally and tally me banana. Daylight come and me wanna go home. 6, oh come Mr. Tally and tally me banana. Daylight come and me wanna go home. 6 and 7 and 8 and bunch. Daylight come and we want go home. 6 and 7 and 8 and bunch. Daylight come and we want to go home. Me say Deo. Daylight come and we want go home. Me say Deo.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
What a beautiful bunch of ripe banana. What a beautiful bunch of ripe banana. Daylight come and we wanna go home. 6 and 7 and 8 and bunch. Come and we wanna go home. 6 and 7 and 8 and bunch. Daylight come and we wanna go home. The day-o, me say yeah-o. Daylight come and we wanna go home. I'm glad that, you guys actually, pick up the slack here. You guys did well, don't worry. Don't beat yourself up yet. A lot more to do. So this one I'm going to do solo, with, It's Counting on You, which, like Dale, is a Raffi, with Counting on You, it's a Raffi original, but Raffi's work in environmental work and educational work really speaks to me, and really definitely spoke to Lauren too, about how she saw what Raffi brings to the table each and every day of his life, and his zest for, working with those causes. It reflects on me, and she always would say, I'm like the Raffi of our inner circles. And that's when I first heard her say that, and I think she said it quite often, she meant it. I approach life with, the same zest that Raffi does. And I kind of look like him too, younger, when Raffi was younger, so it doesn't help, it does help that, I do look like him. So that makes it quite possible I can do a cosplay of him one day. I got the beard, I got the darker hair, I'm not going vegetarian fully. Sorry, Keelan. Well, Raffi, I believe, is a pescatarian. But Counting on You, he wrote to honor Jane Goodall, who I think is still with us, right? Is Jane Goodall still alive? I think she is. She's in her 80s, I believe, but she's a great, as you know, researcher for chimpanzees and primates, and Raffi does a lot of tributes to famous researchers and people that really made a difference, kind of like him. So Counting on You is is kind of my throwback to how we counted on each other for a time. We did a lot together. We relied on each other so much. I counted on a lot of people to make this event happen clearly tonight. Like I said, Kinsley and Amy and Karen, all of you in the audience, home and here, and even my friends that were unable to make both and could just watch on YouTube, at their convenience. They just really, it means so much that you guys were doing this for me. And I asked a lot of you, I'm sorry if I trying to change the dates or kind of bother you guys about it. Sometimes on on Messenger or on calling and getting all this stuff worked out. But I'm glad it did work out in the end. Just so blessed it did. So I'm gonna take a moment to suffice at the end of Counting on You too, and you'll hear it at the end. So without further ado, young people search for a true way to live, from Timbuktu to Timbuktu. They look to their elders for guidance, counting on you. The children of generations to come are counting on you. Alive in the power of childhood dreams, counting on you. Every child arrives with gifts to sit at life's table, hoping and counting on you, asking you to live true to your heart and soul, asking you to come through, counting on you, counting on you. Asking you to live true to your heart's purpose, counting on you. That's it. Yeah, they are. From this moment on to infinity, the children are counting on you. And this fresh new trek to eternity, the children are counting on you to give of yourself as you're able, asking you to live true to your heart and soul, asking you to live true, counting on you, counting on you. The Aspies, Art and I, and all the other ASC folks are counting on you. And here we are. This one is another Eagles tune, Learn to Be Still, which Justin Ivy, our fellow THS alum, me and Paul's brother Russ were the same year, and Christy and Keelan over near back. We're all 2008. And then Justin and I spent, I think, at least a good maybe 2.5 to 3 months at my apartment in the evenings after I get home from Gateway to basically get guitar parts narrowed down pat. And he was envisioning being here tonight live with us. Unfortunately, he had to go to work, which he works from home, but it was like a meetup of everybody that he does, like pool training curriculums and designs lesson plans for how to make a pool run. Who knew it wasn't just floating a big thing full of water, you know? Ask Justin about it though. He's really good at what he does. He's basically a good educator for like pool regulations stuff. He really knows his stuff. So, but Justin and I really got going with him, did really well. But then we saw that me and Paul were having some difficulties with the recording that he graciously sent to my phone, and I sent it to Paul's phone, and somehow I got kind of weirded out. But that's okay. We're just gonna do it with the acoustic piano here, just like we have been doing all along. It's all night. So, Learn to Be Still is a great song to really just take things down again, calm down. I sing it for Laura when she would be fired up. And trust me, you know, out of the two of us, even if I love my ghost peppers and scotch bonnets and anything really super spicy, she could be super spicy too, you know. So I think this would be a great way to kind of cool us off and going through and just be more, you know, logical in our approach to things and not just go with our number one gut. But then again, she flew by the seat of her pants all the time, so I just, you know, so I'm gonna have to go along for the ride, you know. Look what happened in the courthouse, you know, when I was at the courthouse that night, you know. So, Learn to Be Still by the Eagles. Just another day in paradise as you stumble to your death. You give anything a sacrifice. Those voices ringing in your head. You thought you could find happiness just over that green hill. You thought you would be satisfied, but you never will. Learn to be still. We are like sheep without a shepherd. We don't know how to be alone, so we wander around this desert. We wound up following the wrong God's home. But the flock cries out for another. They keep answering that bell. One more sorry-eyed Messiah means a violent farewell. Learn to be still. This one's a little bit more of a mellow song too, but it's also another Eagles song, The Last Resort. And it was actually the first song I sang for Lauren. So this one is especially, I think this is number 1. And so, you know, it's a 7.5 minute long song, but we're not gonna, make it that long because there's a lot of, in the Eagles song, there's like a full-on orchestra with backstem, and there's a choir, and I think they take a longer, it's an break. We're gonna try to make that maybe 4 minutes if we can. But so, The Last Resort, back when we first met the program in the end of 2012. So not only did we do our open mic with Marrakesh Inc., we also did an open mic with Bridges Inc., which is our sister agency over in Milford and West Haven. And the 2 open mics could be handled differently by the different clients and staff. So we were at their open mic because it happened to be the 3rd Sunday or around that point when she moved in, just after the horrifying events of Sandy Hook in 2012 to Marrakesh. So we went there, and maybe it was in January, right after that year, in 2013. So, I so blossomed in the friendship with her at that point, BFFs. SL was more a thing, in our minds, clearly at that point, in 2013. And, happened until, obviously, 17. But, they gave us, like, a, chance to, the outside performers, being me, Lauren, and other people from our agency to come out and sing their stuff, too. So, Last Resort is really, Don Henley's kind of passionate about the environment, just like Rafi, just like me. And, I think Lauren, this kind of really showed her who I was. So it's really good about being in front of a crowd like she was and is, and comfortable with his own skin, and, really just something he's passionate about. And I think afterward, that night, she comes over to my apartment across the hall and says, "You really nailed this song." So, let's see if I can nail it just as good as I did back then. I'm sure I can. That's not conceded, but I think she'll help me. I think you guys appreciate this one especially. Oh, and fun fact, at Gateway I took a English 102 class during the lockdown with her, and we had Professor Lauren O'Leary, who's a full-time professor at Gateway. She teaches English and, I think other ESL classes as well. And so Professor O'Leary had us do like analysis of poems and songs as part of one of the writing assignments, and so I picked Last Resort. And for extra credit, she actually wanted me to record with Lauren's help. She recorded this again, fall of 2020. She recorded from Lauren's phone. She recorded on her own, from her phone. She recorded me singing this at either my apartment at the time or her apartment. And we actually, that actually helped my grade even more. I got an A+, and I got like 106 or something on it. So, it's a really good, it's a song that means a lot. And Professor O'Leary, I think she's probably going to appreciate the video link. I'm sure all the other professors are full-time. Like Joe Maynard, who Mike and I work know pretty well in our social science classes and history. And some other people that couldn't be here tonight, we'll have to show them the link. I'm sure they'll like this conference once they see it. So, let's go with The Last Resort. And no, not the Papa Roach one. 2 different songs, 2 different tempos, and 2 different meanings. She came from Providence, the one in Rhode Island, where the old world shadows hang heavy in the air. She packed her hopes and dreams like a refugee, just as her father came across the sea. Down in the crowded bars, out for a good time. Can't wait to tell you all what it's like up there. They call it paradise, I don't know why. Somebody made the mountains low while the town got high. And the chilly winds blew down across the desert, through the canyons of the coast, to the Malibu, where the pretty people play, hungry for drywall to light their neon lamps, given some things to do. Some rich man came and raped the land boxes. Jesus, people bought 'em. They called it paradise, the place to be. They watched the hazy sun sinking in the sea. We can leave it all behind and sail to the highland, just like the missionaries did so many years ago. They even brought a neon sign that said, Jesus is coming, brought the white man's burden down, brought the white man's burden. Who will provide the great desire? What is yours and what is mine? 'Cause there is no more new frontier. We have got to make it here. We satisfy our endless needs, justify our bloody deeds, in the name of destiny and in the name of God. And you can see them there on Sunday morning. Step up and sing about how, what it's like up there. They call it paradise. I don't know why. Call someplace paradise. You kiss it goodbye.
It's 8 o'clock.
Thanks, guys. This song is always something special to me. 'Cause, you know, it's talking about what we did down here, you know, overpopulated country, world. Expanded too far west, too dramatic, I guess you would call it that. The history professor Kennedy in me wants to think that we could have, if we could reverse, go back in time, we could, and we should, and we can't, but we would have probably learned the lesson we now know the hard way, and we did, really. So, this is a great song, though, just to really just, you know, drive home the fact that we are kind of impacting our planet, you know, even now, with all this haze these past couple of days. So, thanks, guys. Alright, so we're on the, was it next last?
Yep.
Alright, two more guys. Penultimate. Yeah, penultimate.
I know
Yep.
you were gonna say that.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite words actually. So Desperado is a great Eagles song too, and it's one that they usually close out the show with as well. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna close out, and I'll just talk to you guys once the time comes. That's when you guys will all come in with a. You'll see how the song when we get there. Desperado. My parents remember when Linda Ronstadt was actually there. That's how the Eagles got their start. They were her backup positions, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, and Desperado's really great. You know, kind of. To me, it makes me think of Lauren too. You know how she was kind of an outlaw in the sense that she, you know, again, marched her own drum beat. She didn't care what you thought. You know, she'd say something that would make your head scratch. You know, and then really, you know, remember she was half Sicilian, but she's proud of it. You know. So she, you know, she said that one time in front of, I think, we were in Joe Maynard's office at school, and she said, you know, out loud, and I think one of the now retired social science professors, you know, that was in the next row office was like, "Did I hear swearing in college?" It's like, really? We're adults. You know? And then Maynard basically comes, tries to call the professor and says, "Listen, we're just having a private conversation. Excuse us, you know, just, you know, let us say what we want to say." And Maynard really took us under his wings. That the year of 17, we were in his U.S. class, U.S. history class, and ever since then, he kind of really cared for us, and you know, we looked to him as a friend, just like I looked at myself as a friend and a mentor and a professor. semester in where I learned from Kisley too, you know, and I'm blessed to have so many great teacher friends, you know, that not just inspired me to, you know, Evening and Karen too, of course, to get me into the field of education, not just, you know, professionally, but just, you know, bounce ideas off of, or just, you know, get their feedback on what they've done for teaching, you know, it's going to change a lot in the next few years, I'm sure, as well as it has already, you know. But I'm not teaching online for sure, and I don't want to teach online either, you know. Screw the Zoom for you, you know. So you like the old school classroom ways, and so do I, you know. I'm 33. So Desperado, and let's start you guys for the final number. So Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences for so long now. Oh, your heart, I know you've got your reasons. These things that are pleasing you hurt you somehow. Don't you draw the queen of diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. The queen of hearts is always your best bet. Now it seems to me some fine things have been laid upon your table, but you only want the ones that you can't get. Desperado, oh, you ain't getting younger. Pain and your hunger, they're driving you home. Freedom, oh freedom, boy that's just some people talking. Your prison is walking through this world all alone. Don't your feet get cold in the winter time? Sky won't snow and the sun won't shine. It's hard to tell the nighttime from the day. Losing all your highs and lows, and funny how the feeling goes away. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Come down from your fence and open the gate. It may be raining, but there's a rainbow above you. You've gotta let somebody love you. Let somebody love you. You better let somebody love you before it's too late. Thanks, bud. So this one, here's where you guys come in. Lauren and I, during our ASD and mental health presentations before COVID in person, and hopefully before she passed, we were thinking about doing them again in person after. You know, things were safer to go out again, and we were expecting to do so. We close out with Rafi's Spirit of One. This is one of his grown-up songs, and again, more of Zach's ecology stuff, not his big low business stuff. But Spirit of One really unifies, like we're all in one, you know, unity together. So what we would do is we would ask our audiences to kind of link hands. I know with COVID we're still kind of, you know, a little bit about touching and stuff, but it really means a lot to me. You guys can all link hands. Stand up. Come on. Up and out of it, my friend.
Say again?
Stand up, my friend. You gotta link arms. Link hands over. No homos, guys. Come on. We're all accepting here. All right, who's link hands with me now? I got somebody's hands. I got somebody's hands here. It's the highest bidder. Let's get 3-legged race. Now you guys are gonna sing with me on this one too. Carrie, got one hand. Who's got my left hand? Paul, I don't think I can reach that far, but
I can. I need both.
Mike, you got an odd number of people. Can you get Paul from Daddy or?
He's insecure.
Oh, he's insecure?
He's there.
Oh, he's there. All right. I'll have to do one hand. All right. So, all right, we're gonna sit here. So it goes like this. the power in everyone to live for the greatest good, the spirit of one. Our great love shining strong, called in the chorus in the human song, to live for the greatest good, the spirit of one. One child, love-filled child, one love, human love, calling out to us to live in a spirit of one. Sorry. One child, love-filled child, one love, human love, calling out to us to live in a spirit of one. All for one, one for all, the joy and the power in everyone, to live for the greatest good, spirit of one, to live for the greatest good, the spirit of one. Okay, we gotta go now. Thanks, guys. Looks like it's lots of fun, so everyone was on. Alright, see you soon, my friend. Just don't blow something in the woods. I'll have to spot you, you're fine.
You guys are just tricking us into a standing ovation.
Birthday man.
Yeah, great one.
You're gonna go to Cracker Barrel.
Send the mastermind.
I think we're done.
Your friend,